About a year ago, I finished grad school after 6 long years in college. While I had a blast and learned a few things, when I finished, all I could see were 2 pieces of paper with my name on it, a stagnant job market, and a mountain-sized pile of student debt. Now, I've since found a full-time gig, but for a while there, the only way I could pay off my bills was by making money playing poker. So I went ahead and set a lofty goal for myself to make $125,000 by New Year's Eve 2026. That should just about pay off the debt with the interest. Over the past few months, we've been slowly but surely chipping away at our debt, throwing some jabs, $500 win here, $1,000 win there, bobbing, weaving, dodging some coolers, but every fighter will tell you, you can't win a fight just by throwing some jabs. Every once in a while, you gotta go for the right hook. You have to go for the uppercut, the big blows that'll really knock your opponent down. And we're looking to throw some haymakers today because my friend Global Kenny has hooked us up with a room and a seat on Jamul Poker Live. It's a 2-5-10 game, but it's going to play far bigger than that. We're grabbing some heavy artillery and strapping in because this is going to be a battle, and this fight is going to go the distance. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get right into it. It takes us a little while to get involved, a little card dead to start the stream, but hand 35 seems like a good hand to get started with because the $40 straddle is on from Pally. Chris has limped the hijack, and we're going to be squeezing it up here with the divorced couple from the big blind. It's just going to fold around, but we're taking down over $100 of variance-free money. Never a bad thing. This next hand gets a little spicier than just raising and taking it down pre. It starts with us raising the button up to 35 over a $10 straddle with ace-jack offsuit, and we're met with a spicy 3-bet from our good friend Uncle Noah in the big blind. My Uncle Noah is a very good player and is very capable of getting out of line. As we see here, he's 3-betting pretty wide, so I'm going to try and punish with a 4-bet up to $550. Unk is not backing down from the battle. He sticks in the call, so we're heads up in a 4-bet pot with over $1,100 in the middle, and we don't have that great of a hand. That is until the flop comes out ace, jack, 7 with 2 hearts. We smash top 2 pair. Absolute dream flop here. I'm dreaming of San Diego and the fricking Jamul Casino Resort. I want to pile in money, obviously, but we don't have to bet that large to be all in by the river. We only have about $1,000 left behind, so I decided for the very small micro bet, trying to milk hands like lower pocket pairs, and if Noah has a hand like ace king or ace queen, he may even raise for value facing this size. Noah may have read the small bet as weak because he decides to get aggressive with the check raise up to $300. This is a pretty baller play here, trying to put pressure on my hands like kings, queens, and tens that would just hate facing this much aggression. With my exact hand, of course I'm never folding. I just need to decide what the best course of action is. Do we just call or do we move all in now? Against a player as aggressive as Noah, I prefer to just call here. If he has a flush draw and the turn is a heart, so be it. The pot's already so big, I'm not going to be folding on pretty much any turn. I decide to call, and the turn is almost the bailout card for Uncle Noah. It's the 2 of spades. Noah sticks to his plan and moves all in. We, of course, snap him off, and all of a sudden, we're playing a $3,100 pot, and we only have 1 out to fade. The river is the clean 5 of diamonds. We're going to get the early courtesy double up as Noah makes his case for Uncle of the Year by sending me a 6-month early birthday gift. What a way to start the session. We continue to heat up as in the same orbit we pick up jacks, raise preflop, and just take it down. 2 hands later, we're 3-betting queens and just taking it down. And the very next shuffle, we pick up pocket 9s in the big blind. Brett has raised from the low jack, and we're going to put in the 3-bet up to $160. Brett's in there. He hates to fold, so we're heads up out of position, and we see a flop of queen 8 for rainbow. It's a decent flop for 9, second pair. I decided to keep my foot on the gas with a bet of 110, and Brett sticks in the call. Going to shut it down on a fair few turns, but the 10 of spades does give us a gut shot straight draw. I should probably just slow down and check, but I picked up that gut shot, so I decided to continue betting for $225. Brett, of course, is going nowhere, and the river is the 10 of hearts. We're left with third pair. I decide to wave the white flag here and check, trying to get to showdown. Brett does not want to see a cheap showdown like I do, and he bets out small for $300 into $1,000. I'm not considering calling, but the demons in my head are telling me to blow them up and move all in with our straight blocker, but I just don't think this one is going to get through, so I decide to just make the fold. Up next, we've decided to play the nit game, or should I say the babo game. The last player at the table to win a hand has to pay out $225 into a bomb pot. And we're looking to avoid that penalty as it limps around to us, and I decide to raise it up to $80 with the Octo Crab. I thought we were playing blackjack for a second, and I'm trying to double down here, dealer, but instead it's Chris and Joe who are doubling down as they both decide to limp and then call. So we're going 3 ways off to a flop where we completely whiff, it checks around, and we just have to fold when Chris leads the turn. So we still have our nit button, but we're going to try and get rid of it the very next hand. Dookie has raised it up from early position. Poker Pete and Joe have put in the call, and we decide to 3-bet in the cutoff with 10-8 of diamonds. Shout out Taliana, if you know, you know. Somehow this is just going to get through everyone, and we get to get rid of our nit button to avoid paying the penalty. Easy game. The nit game is not on for this next hand, but there is plenty of action. It starts with me raising up ace-king offsuit from early position to $20. Babo has 3-bet next to act to $60, and Brett is going to wake up with the ice-cold 4-bet from the cutoff up to $190. From these early positions, against some players, it could be a little bit more uncomfortable with ace-king here, but against these guys, ace-king is just the nuts, I think. I eye up the effective stack sizes for a bit before deciding to move all in, looking to clear out some equity from middling pairs like 8s through jacks, and I wouldn't be surprised if Brett wanted to call it off here with a hand like ace-queen or ace-jack suited. Unfortunately for us, they were both kind of getting out of line here, so we're just going to take it down, but almost $300 of dead money is a pretty decent result from just having ace-high. Okay, so this next hand is a little bit silly. I personally love it. I'm excited to hear what you guys think about it in the comments. We're going to try and make it even sillier by blurring out our opponent's cards. This is a blind v blind hand against our friend Poker Babo, which, fun fact, he told me that Babo means daddy in Italian or something, so I'm not actually going to be calling him that anymore. Anyways, I raise up ace-7 offsuit to $75 from the $10 straddle, and PB puts in the call from the 20. The flop is 8-5-3 rainbow, so pretty nothing flop for us. I check and Babs bets $50 for about 1/3 pot. Ace high still has some showdown value here, I think, so I decide to put in the call. There's 250 in the middle, and the turn is a 4. We suddenly turn this sneaky double gutter. I decide to check once again. Babs is not giving up as he continues to barrel for 200 into 250. It's kind of a weird spot. We have a strong draw. We could maybe still be good with ace high, but I'm not so sure what to do here. Raising seems a bit much. I don't like folding such a strong hand. I decide to stick in the call and see what happens, and we see the absolute bink 6 of clubs hit the river. We make the second nuts. It's not very disguised though. I do consider leading, but I think that's just so bait. So I decide to check once again. Joey is actually training to dunk a basketball. I think it's a pretty cool challenge. Check it out on his channel if you haven't already. But I don't really care about that right now. I'm just hoping he dunks his stack in the middle. My line looks pretty weak here, and maybe he'll try to get me to fold. That is exactly what he does when he jams his stack in. I do my best Aaron Gordon impression and throw down the power call. I fast roll my hand. There's no way we're losing this pot. But there's no way we're scooping either, as Joey shows 10-7 offsuit for the rivered straight as well. Like I said, this one's pretty silly, but I guess I'll take the $4 win. Nice hand, daddy. I mean, Babo. Up next, we are once again going to blind on blind battle with Babo. Try saying that 5 times fast. It starts with me raising ace-10 offsuit from the small blind. Joey's put in the 3-bet from the big blind to $200. Babo's a good family man, a family man with responsibilities and with kids to feed, and he's probably afraid to go home and tell his kids they can't have the newest Lego set they want, all because daddy wanted to be a hero in a blind v blind battle with some young nerdy kid. I, on the other hand, am not afraid of anything besides intimacy, commitment, and women in general, and I have no responsibilities other than my crippling student debt, I guess. So anyways, I decide to 4-bet up to $500, and he snap folds. Hooray! Yeah, I probably need counseling or something. Our next hand is hand number 115 of the stream. We raise up the hijack with Big Slick to $50 over a limp. It folds over to my buddy Dookie Bets in the straddle. I jokingly told a lot of people that Dookie and I were going to California to get married, but it seems like the honeymoon phase may be over as he 3-bets up to $225. Dookie's an aggressive little elf, so I decide to set the trap and just call to take a flop in position, and the flop has me thoroughly aroused when we make top pair, top kicker on a pretty dry board. Duke continues for 175, and I continue playing it nice and slow as I put in the K Boulay patented smooth call. The turn's a brick, and Dookie decides to slow down and check. I think our hand's pretty much the nuts. I want to start building a big pot, so I bet out for $450, maybe even a little bit small. Unfortunately, Dookie has nothing and just folds, but we're going to take down another decent sized pot. The next hand is a very fun one. It starts with us throwing on the $40 straddle. Pally has raised it up from the cutoff to $125. Joe is called from the $20 straddle, and we peel ace-queen offsuit. We're going to 3-bet this hand a lot, but Pally is hyper-aggressive, so I want to have some strong hands to call him down with on ace-high flops. And I think ace-queen makes the best candidate to call here, so I decide to just complete, and we see the dreamy ace-10 deuce roll off with 2 spades. Checks on over to Pally. He decides to bet $200. Nothing to do, I don't think, here but call and let him fire with all his bluffs. Almost $800 in the middle, and we see the board pairing deuce of hearts hit the turn. I check again, and Pally fires again, this time for $400. Pretty clear call once again, and the river rolls off the 4 of spades. The front door flush completes, and Pally decides to unload the clip, announcing he's all in for $2,220. It's a massive overbet in a massive pot. We don't have a spade, which would obviously be preferred to call down with. I take my time here as this is a big pot, but we've trapped the whole way, hoping he would bluff it off to us. We have to give him the chance. After about 90 seconds of thinking, I decide to stick in the call, and we hear the most beautiful 2 words in poker, "You're good." We're going to scoop in this $6,400 pot. Credit to Pally here. This is a sick bluff. We're now up nearly $5,000, and we are feeling good. Over the next hour or so, we wouldn't have too many spots, rivering trips to win a small pot, bluffing into Pally when he has a flush to lose a bit back, and that's going to bring us to our hand of the night, the biggest pot that I have ever played, so strap in. It's hand number 199 of the stream. We're going to blur Pally's cards here for this one as he raises to $60 over the $20 straddle. It folds to me in the big blind, and we have ace-king again. I put in the chunky 3-bet as we are deep to $300. I could even go a bit bigger, but we're so deep here that sizing up doesn't really get many more of his hands to fold, so we want to try and manage pot size out of position. Pally sticks in the call, so we're heads up with over $600 in the middle, and the flop's kind of nothing for us. It's jack 9-5 with 2 hearts. We have nothing but ace high, but with the king of hearts and 2 overcards, I decide to bet small, and Pally sticks in the call. The turn is the ace of diamonds. Pretty good card for us, improves us to top pair, top kicker. I want to keep betting, but I don't think we want to bomb this card. We're going to have a lot more ace X through our line than Pally will, so we're going to want to bet this turn pretty often. As a result, I decide to come with another small size of $350, around 1/3 pot here. Just leveraging our nut advantage on this board. Pally thinks his options over a while and tells us where we can stick our nut advantage when he raises up to $1,125. This looks pretty strong from Pally here, but we have a pretty good hand ourselves. He could have some sets in 2 pairs, but I expect ace-jack offsuit to fold at this stack depth, and ace-jack suited to 4-bet bluff a decent amount. With our suits as well, there's only 1 combo of ace-jack suited left. I also expect some raising to be done on the flop with a hand like pocket 9s or pocket 5s. Additionally, a couple of videos ago, you would have seen Pally 4-bet me with the ace-5 suited, so he's not afraid to get in there with the solver special, so I'm discounting that a bit as well. Additionally, there's a ton of straight draws he could have, like queen 10, 10-8, king queen, king 10, as well as some heart draws. Pally's super aggressive and has been running over the table all night. He's also a bit stuck and not in the mood to back down, but I'm not either. I decide to stick in the call, so we're off to a river with over $3,200 in the middle, and it's the ace of hearts. The front door flush completes, but we make trips. I check it on over to Pally, who decides to move all in for $3,640. This is a pretty gross spot, probably the sickest one I've ever been in, but we just seem to have such a good hand to call with. We have the ace, which blocks a lot of the full houses he'll have. We have the king of hearts, which blocks a lot of the flushes. It's such a big bet, but I don't think we can just fold everything here. Perhaps Pally is raising with a worse hand like ace-queen for value. That may seem a little bit thin, I'm not sure. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Would you call here? Would you fold? I'll let you guys listen now to my live in-game reaction.
And
all in? Mine is all
and
in. Yeah, Pally, I think I'm gonna have to pay you.
AQ Poker also has the king of hearts, and I think for those reasons
We put in the call, and unfortunately, we're not going to be winning this one. Yeah, honestly, guys, this one hurts. It hurts a lot. This was at the time by far the biggest pot I'd ever played, and we get wrecked here because Pally has only gone and rivered the stones. We were playing pretty well, running very hot, but we have been thoroughly cooled off with this hand. I would take a bit of a walk to reset, but never really came back to reality after this one. We played for about 20 more minutes with no pots interesting enough to go over. Overall on the day, we lost $1,750, but it feels like a much bigger loss than that. I spent a lot of time after the stream alone, taking a break, doing a bit of a mental reset. This one stings, and it still does, but this one's really a catalyst for a lot of exciting things you guys are going to see in the near future. No outro today, just pain. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bobby's driving through the city tonight, through the lights in a hot new rent-a-car. He joins the lovers in his heavy machine. It's a scene down on Sunset Boulevard. Say goodbye to Hollywood. Say goodbye, my baby. Say goodbye to Hollywood. Say goodbye, my baby. Johnny's taking care of things for a while, and his style is so right for troubadours. They got him sitting with his back to the wall. Now he won't be my fast gun anymore. Say goodbye to Hollywood. Say goodbye, my baby. Say goodbye to Hollywood. Say goodbye, my baby. Moving on, there's a chance you take every time you try to stay together. Say a word out of line, and you find all the friends you have are gone forever, forever. So many faces in and out of my life. Some will last, some will just be now and then. Life is a series of hellos and goodbyes. I'm afraid it's time for goodbye again. Say goodbye to Hollywood. Say goodbye, my baby. Say goodbye to Hollywood. Say goodbye, my baby.